Okay, so we started, and welcome everyone. We have a small group, as we said before, no public appearance anymore because you can't really fit any chairs in a room anymore. We have the hospital bed here. We have Bob, we have Tanya, and Dean. And of course, we would be very honored, darling, if you give us a few words of an introduction, would you?
I want to give you a few words of instruction.
Hmm?
You want me to give you a few words of instruction?
Yes, and everyone who's listening with us. Just the basic reminders, what you usually do for us, if you feel like it. Your silence sings, so sing.
You're going to twist a few knots out of it.
Okay, maybe we can talk, Bob, because a minute ago he was actually ready to give us an introduction. Maybe we can encourage him to speak in a minute or two. So I'll start you off, my darling, and you see if you want to add something, okay? A basic message is that starts from the fact you are already that, or the presence that you are, the awareness that you are, is already here, fully blossom, right from birth and before. Nothing needs to be done, achieved, or found for you to realize that this presence of awareness, that this aliveness is already beating your heart and breathing you and is already fully on. So that's really that. And one way of saying it is you are that. Another way of saying it, and you know it, you are that because everything is that. Another way of saying it is you know that you are, You know that you are, you exist, you are being, you are aware of existence, you are aware of being. And that is really the heart of the message, that is really the core of the message. There is nothing more or nothing else that really matters, because everything else that appears in that presence or in that sphere of being. Darling, would you like to say something to it now? Presence awareness.
Presence awareness.
Yes. Basic space of phenomena.
The basic space of phenomena.
Being, knowing, loving to be.
Being, knowing, loving to be.
Uncontrived singularity of presence. You want to say something to it?
To what?
You want to say something to it. Something about it. Really what we do in our group, non-duality group investigation, we are describing the luminous, radiant experience of presence, of being. And through that description, we basically offer the resonation, we offer the frequency of the certainty that this is the only thing that really matters. And with that frequency or that resonation, we hope that it may, not really hope, we just wish that it may ring the bell, it may sound familiar, it may move something in the heart, something like a long forgotten tune. And through that resonation, the wakefulness comes to front rather than just being the background, the basic screen or the background. It moves to front and it shines in its own light, because, as I said before, everything else appears in it. Everything else is secondary to it. The body, the mind, the stories, the attachments, the desires, the fears, the dreams, the longings, the past traumas, the future plans, everything appears because I am, because there is existence. So existence is always and forever primary. Yes? isn't it?
Hmm?
Isn't it? Primary existence.
What's another way of putting that?
Tell me. Yes, tell me. What's another way of putting that?
Permanence.
Hmm?
All right, we'll use that way too. The permanence,
Impermanence,
ever fresh,
ever fresh, presence awareness.
being,
Yes, knowing.
knowing, and loving to be.
That's right. Yes, and at this point, Bob usually invites everyone to see if that isn't a present experience right now. Are you being? Are you aware that you exist? And are you happy to be? In other words, it isn't really a description of elation or happiness. It's just a contentment in being. Like, you're not suicidal, even if you are at some points. Every mind is at some point or the other, because the mind is dualistic. It always vibrates in pleasures and pains and desires and aversions. But even if that awareness of presence is not, in a sense, blissful at the moment, there is still a preference for being. There is still joy of being. There is still appreciation of being, of value of being, value of life. And my experience with people who were struggling with depression, and even on our Zoom meetings, I loved when Tazi contributed the insight that even if there is an anxiety or fear or depression showing up, it usually comes with the narrative. It usually comes with the little story that, oh, I don't want to investigate because I will not be looking after my children, or I don't want to be like this because things will get worse. Those are stories. Without those stories, there is nothing wrong. And this is, again, one of Bob's most recognized pointers. What's wrong with right now if you don't think about it? So if there is no thinking going on, there is nothing wrong. If there is no thought, there is no problem. If there is no story, there can't be any depreciation of what's happening, because depreciation is a story, it's a judgment, it's a thought. So we are describing the natural state, the state which underlies, is not even a state, it's a stateless state that underlies every state. Every state comes on it, the state of joy, the state of elation, the state of deprivation, or whatever the state is, comes on that basic screen of awareness, or that natural state. You with us, darling? You with us?
Yeah.
Yeah? You happy to be?
Yeah.
You're not in pain?
Yeah.
Good. Mm. Yeah, so you want to tell us a little bit about it. Come on, tell us a little bit about it. Hmm?
Seems to be okay.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about non-duality, will you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up about it.
No, talk. Speak. Will you?
Speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about it?
Yeah.
What is non-duality there? When you hear the word non-duality, what does it mean?
It means not to.
Not two.
Mm-hmm.
Not two what?
Not two things in the world. All one. Not even one. It means not two. That's the literal translation. A is not, and Dvaita is Dva, which is two. So non-duality or Advaita means not two. It means they are not two things. It means that even form and emptiness are not two things. That
Wow.
body and mind are not two things. That the space and the form are not two things. And how do you actually see it experientially, or you realize that this is so? You want to give us a couple of pointers how you do that? How do you see?
Where
yeah. Can you go?
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Just realised
Yes, darling.
there was something lacking. The healer.
Yes, I'll get one, you get the other. Yes, so just an update on Bob. As everyone can see, we have the hospital bed, so we don't have space for the chairs. Bob is pain-free, relatively alert for most of the time, still happy to be, and if there is any incentive to look or have conversation, we can read a passage from a book or have a I'll put it on, or have a chat. And as I mentioned before, until the last breath, still the only game in the town. So half an hour ago, and this is really changing very fast, Bob was actually keen to give us a little introduction, but there is quite a lot of different chemicals involved in controlling the pain, and they are patches that are changed every 3 days, so whichever amount of medication is being released is uncontrollable really fully. But maybe. You want to ask another question, darling? I'll give you a break, huh? Engage you later. You want to carry on a little bit? Just a couple of words?
Well, I wondered whether Bob might like to hear a bit more of Beyond Words, Beyond Mind.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, shall I
Yes.
go the book?
Brilliant idea. Yes, we'll start you off, darling, reading you your own words. How is that? I'll put it in here, or you can keep it on yourself.
Oh, I can slide off. I'm very soaked.
Oh.
There we go. Bob, know this book, Beyond Words, Beyond Mind? Sailor Bob Adamson. It's my favourite book.
Is it?
Yep,
It's the best book in the world.
best book in the world. So this is the only book, is that right, that Bob ever wrote in his own words in here? I mean, they're all his own words, but
yes.
this
Most
is
of the
he
others are
authored it?
transcripts
Yep,
edited
by Gilbert.
or
not
Adam
edited.
edited one, and Julie Romberger and John Wheeler, different people. Gilbert did majority of the work.
It's my favourite book. It's so clear and simple. And it starts with the subtitle, Investigating. A reference point or self-centre with any substance or independent nature cannot be found. There is only emptiness, no thingness. It is only emptiness itself, suffused with knowingness, intelligence, just as the sun, suffused with light, is self-shining.
How beautiful.
Keep seeing that there is no thing that sees. Recognize that seeing of itself is happening naturally, and the recognizing of the natural seeing will appear to last longer. Shall I continue a little bit? Yeah.
Enjoying it?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you only said a few words. So
Oh, keep going.
yeah, keep going.
Keep going. All
You
right.
said few words and it puts a smile on your face. It is such a beautiful piece of art. It's poetic and it's direct and it's clear. It's beautiful.
No baubles, just straight.
Yeah.
The realization will dawn that it is always and ever happening quite naturally, though seemingly clouded by thoughts. It is the base in which things appear and disappear, yet it is no thing. In seeing that the reference point, self-centre, ego or idea of me is actually insubstantial and without any independent nature, then the actuality is like basic space emptiness, nothing. There is nowhere for a thought, feeling or emotion to attach to or fixate on. So with no point of reference, it is realized that the emptiness has the capacity to cognize or register what is just as it is. It is understood that what is being believed to be me, a reference point or an ego, is only recalled images, thoughts, and so on. So thoughts fixate on thought, and a thought being energy resists thought, which is energy. Through that conflict, energy resists energy, and there arise more thoughts and feelings as anxiety, fear, sadness, depression, and so on. Living seems to be a struggle rather than the effortless flowing of the natural state. Bit more?
Bit more, or would you like to comment on that, darling? Would you like to comment on that, on your words, on what we just read? Add a few words to it? Or you just enjoy listening?
Keep going.
All right, Randy.
Enjoying listening.
Thoughts and confusion subside naturally if there is no point to attach themselves to. They arise in emptiness without a centre and dissolve in emptiness without a centre. Just as the sun's rays focused through a magnifying glass onto a spot on the body will burn, without the magnifying glass, the warmth naturally spreads evenly over the whole body. The moment of recognition that the emptiness, which is space-like, no shape, no form, no centre, no circumference, is suffused with knowing, the capacity to cognize or register, is the release or freedom from the bondage of belief in the idea or concept of a separate entity, an individual, a seeming person. That is pure knowing. Many names are put on it: godliness, oneliness, awareness, wakefulness, etc. I like to call it, Bob, intelligence energy, or the activity of knowing. The term knowing is not meant to imply a knower or the known, neither does it mean what was known or what will be known. It means the actuality that is happening right now. Knowing implies intelligence, an activity taking place presently. An activity implies a movement, a vibration of energy. Hence, intelligence energy is the activity of knowing, which is life.
Ah, beautiful. I'm going to include the online community for us. Beautiful. And then maybe you guys want to comment on that. Maybe it kind of awakens something or the other for the reflection. But here we have quite a few people watching online with us, and I think I'm going to get for a moment. And Catherine says, love to you all from James and Catherine. Deborah is sending love, and Lindsay and JB and a few more. Perhaps Zoom would be easier for Bob, as then he could see and feel the interaction from the group. Just an idea. Yes, we do actually Zoom, Lindsay, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, on Mondays sometimes too, and whenever we can, because Bob can't really mobilize anymore. Doesn't go to another room and sit in front of the computer, so we bring the mobile phone that doesn't show the whole group anyway. But yeah, maybe, we'll look into it. And Caroline says thank you, and Michelle sending love and flowers, and Gilbert says nothing exists independently of the singular essence. All phenomena is non-existing. Yet all phenomena is the dynamic display of awareness. Yet awareness is no thing. How amazing. That's beautiful, Gilbert, thank you. And Philip says, thanks for holding the space. Yes, I was really hoping Bob will say something, but even if he doesn't, the presence is here. And one of the pointers that Bob actually also like, intelligence energy, but is the pointer towards the ordinary awareness, with all the fancy names that you were reading that people put on it. I remember how Sometimes we do look through the ancient texts, and one of those texts put a lot of names also. And when the ordinary awareness is mentioned on the top, on the bottom of the list, Bob always leaps up and a big smile on his face. Yes, that is the ordinary awareness that no one can deny right now, that there is awareness, there is a presence of awareness, there is knowingness. And that really is all we are talking about, even though looking from the mind, it can't be grasped, it can't be objectified, it can't be even described. So it is really taken to be nothing and ignored, completely neglected, ignored. But this knowingness, this awareness, or this aliveness is the prerequisite for everything else, for every phenomena, for every experience, for everything that comes and goes on it. So ordinary awareness is a beautiful pointer. Intelligence energy is a beautiful pointer. Non-duality is a pointer too. Singularity is a pointer. There are so many pointers. They are all designed to serve one purpose, to just bring up that missing tune, that forgotten truth, which everyone was born with, and everyone, it is shining out of your eyes. Everyone is fully cognizant of the fact of being present and alive. There is no one who is having any doubts, even if you are stoned or drugged or half asleep. The presence of awareness of existence is always there. Even in the dream, when you sleep and you are dreaming and you're running away and whatever happens, that point in consciousness, experiencing whatever the environment serves, is there. And that's the presence of awareness, or awareness of presence, or the regular ordinary awareness is always with us. And that is the only thing that matters. The rest is distraction. The rest is just a content that is constantly changing. Even, changing state of Bob's content of his awareness. Sometimes there is like a half a dream. Sometimes there is a complete dream. Sometimes there is complete lucidity. This one is changing, but the presence that he is, the aliveness that he is never touched by anything that either the disease or the medication or the drugs will do with it. It is always and forever clear, because that which is falling asleep, dreaming at night, being awake through the day, or daydreaming through the day, that is not what you are and not who you are. The story of the dream character is not who or what you are. This is the way life or intelligence or that presence is expressing through the body. Because it expresses through the body, it expresses as the sound of the voice, and the voice cords, the voice box has already been predetermined by genetics, by whatever, by the 10,000 things. So it can only speak with that tone. That is its limitation. Same with the seeing, the content of seeing, the habits of focusing on particular things. You look around the room and different things attract your attention, different things will attract the attention of someone next to you. That is also a conditioning or programming of the machine, but life using that machine is unconditioned. Just like electricity shining through the globe is unconditioned. The electricity is pure. If the globe is colored, the light will be colored. Or if it expresses through the oven, it will be heat. And if the oven is broken, it will be yet something, maybe a spark, a thunderstorm, or the explosion, yes. But again, the energy is unconditioned, and that is what you are. And that is what Bob is, regardless of what he sees or whether he speaks or he doesn't. And that Buddha smile and that light in his eyes, that knowing, that deep knowing, that regardless of the content of the dream, that is untouched and unaffected, uncontaminated. There is no fear. There is inconvenience when the pain picks in, because again the conditioning of the body is to resist the pain. But life is unconditioned. I see there is a couple of other comments here. Billy says, do you have anyone in the UK selling this book? Billy, this book, if you go to our website, silerbobadamson.com/books and tribute songs, I think you will find it, you'll find the link. I put it out on eBay, and I put the postage to $1. So you can very easily just click on it, and I'll post it tomorrow, and you'll have it in no time. Because it's not a big book, as you can see, it's kind of a letter size. So I could afford putting a regular stamp, letter stamp. Of course, it's going to be more than $1, but that's fine. So you can have it in no time, and I highly recommend it, because it really is. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I heard said it was the best book ever written, because it's so washed out of all the story and nonsense and decorations and beliefs and adornments. It's just beautiful. Also, not a lot, but majority of the one-liners from this book are on our cards with the beautiful pointers, one-liners of Bob's.
But it really invites you, this
Yes.
book, doesn't it, to go and have a look, see for yourself,
That's it.
investigate.
That's it.
What is your actual experience of this? Forget all the internal, external discussion. There really isn't an inside or an outside. There is just
Yep.
is.
Yep. That's
Yeah?
just it.
There's that you
Yeah.
go and look for the mind. You know, what is the mind? You won't find anything. It's just I think of it sometimes like music.
Yes.
That just a vibration. It just comes in and it goes out. And the body is just like an echo chamber or something. I don't know.
I
It's
love
just,
it.
you know.
Yep.
And it's just when you see that and you take a look and you forget all the things that you've learnt in school, or all these concepts that we think describe who we are as an individual. You just see through it. You just see through it. And it's just beautiful, and you won't find the answer in the mind.
Nope.
Will you, Bob? No.
No answer in the mind.
Yeah, you don't need words. You don't, to know. It's knowingness.
And that's why it's called Beyond.
Beyond words. Beyond
Beyond.
mind. Yeah. What a joy. What a release, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only game in
Respite.
the town.
It's it. Go back to that one, the only thing that never changes. Everything else is an object in awareness.
Yes, and that's what a gift to the world, darling. What a gift to the world. You are, and your words and your pointers. And yes, that's the main thing. It is an invitation for looking for yourself. Because yes, we can describe it, and the resonation can happen. And with that resonation, you just take it to the next step and look what's true. Nobody can take it away once you see for yourself.
Well, what are you trying to describe right now?
Your book, Beyond Words, Beyond Mind.
Yeah.
Presence awareness.
Well, give us a belief. God, this talking. Give us a common
explanation.
Spontaneous functioning.
Spontaneous functioning, beautifully said. Yeah. You have another one? No? I love spontaneous functioning.
You're supposed to be explaining it.
Oh, am I? Okay.
I'm just somebody who might think of trying to read it. Now, what have I got to do? What I need to expect in the reading of it?
Yes, the reading is an invitation to resonate and to look for oneself. and to see if that's true, to see if there really is anything to be found, if there really is an entity or the mind or the individuality. So that was for Billy. I have a couple of other comments. Samantha says, so lovely to be read to. Thank you, Bob, for your words, your pointers, so clear, like pure flowing water. Thank you, Kat, and to all. And Hansa says, dearest Bob, always giving. Thank you for your presence. Love always. And J. Kai says, just looking, some of Bob's books are on Amazon. Yes, actually all the other books are on Amazon, but because this one I have a couple of 100 copies at home and they are beautifully printed with gold letters, Amazon doesn't offer that option. That's why I sell it on eBay, just to get rid of the stock, and then eventually I may put it on Kindle as well, or make it to audiobook. We'll see what's easy. But for now, postage is $1, so anywhere in the world, I pay for the rest of it. So just click on the website and go for the link if you like that. And Sean says, we love you, Bob. We are grateful for all your love and teachings. Thank you for pointing us so clearly to the truth. You hear it, my darling? You're loved beyond measure. And Mitra says, thank you, Bob, for all you have given us and still giving. Thank you, Kat, for the same thing. Thank you, beautiful. And Gilbert says, affirming and denying are illusions of mind. Reality does not wait for your vote. Reality does not practice. Reality is no thing. The immaculate emptiness of emptiness. Sudden recognition is spontaneous and totally unexpected. Beautiful. Beautiful. And reality is that which never changes. So how could it possibly wait or expect agreement or disagreement? It does not even exist. I mean, it neither exists nor it doesn't exist. What you say about space, does space exist? As what? Existence, the way we objectify in the mind, is a thing, and it is no thing. It is the emptiness. But is it, or it is an absence or nothing? So we don't even engage in the conversation whether reality is real or whether it exists or it doesn't. Since it is what never changes, it is presumed, but it can't be affirmed or denied. And that's a mindfuck, isn't it? Wonderful. That's because, yes, it is beyond the mind, it's beyond words. It has to be this way. And Belinda says, sending so much love, Bob, Kat, and Kat from Gold Coast. Thank you so much. Thank you, Belinda. And Bill says, love, whole, complete, unending, holding and being all these seemingly separate lives. We are the one, changeless, conscious being of love. Beautiful. And GK, what is the name of the book? Missed it. It is Beyond Mind, Beyond Words.
Beyond words, beyond
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you will see the if you go to our website sailorbobadamson.com and /books, you will see. I think I put the picture of it, so you will just click on the picture, and that will take you to eBay. And Billy says, "Thanks, Kat. I've ordered it on eBay. I look forward to receiving it." Thank you. And Tibor says, much love to you all. Thank you for continuing to affirm that what never changes. Yes, and Mike, was very nice to be there in person, but this live stream is also valuable thanks to technology, but moreover to Bob and Kat. Isn't it? Yes, it all happens in that present, ever present, here and now, whether it happens as a physical presence of the body or a presence of the computer or the phone. It's still just that here and now, which is beyond time and space. It's just here and now. And Caroline says, thanks, Kat, I've ordered it too. Very blessed to be here with you all. Sending so much love. Thank you. And Jyoti says, cleaning the yard while enjoying the conversation. Love to Bob. Love to Bob. And David, that's what I love about this. It is totally self-proving. In fact, it is only found inside. There's no other proof. There is no other proof. Love you both, David with Maggie. Lots of love to you both. And we have Tazi. To fixate on the appearance is to miss the essence. Brilliant. Yeah. So would any of you comment maybe a little bit on what was just being read, the beautiful reminders?
I told Bob a joke the other day. He had a good laugh, and it's sort of a combination of two that I heard. And this reporter asked the astronaut whether when he went out left the Earth, whether he found God. And the astronaut said, "Yes, I found God. She is black, and she is a woman. And she gives birth all day long."
There you are.
There you are. Yay. There you are.
Where are you finding all?
Hey?
Where are you finding all that?
That's, yeah, where does she find jokes? In that ever giving birth black hole of the universe.
You're not very comfortable.
You're not very comfortable? Oh.
You're not.
Oh no, I'm alright, darling.
Worried about you.
Oh, you darling. Oh. That's for my eyes only. So Dean, would you like to say something? Like, you have the
Oh, yeah.
Yes, darling.
Give me a look and see if that's true or not.
If that's true
Yeah.
about the black hole giving birth to all the universes?
No, that is for your eyes only.
Huh? You don't want to expose your naked body publicly, do you?
I'm not talking about yours. We're talking about yours, aren't we?
No, don't you worry. Don't you worry, darling.
Huh?
I will show you when we are alone. Yeah? Dean, would you add something? Yeah?
Did you want to read?
Or say something?
I know this book really well. I sort of memorised most of it, and it's really it's. I don't think it's for everyone because it's so poignant. It's so
Distilled,
it's
condensed.
still just completely, and it really just gets to the point without any of the fluff. And the fluff is all necessary in some level and some place, and God knows what it means. But it's really interesting. Like this book, like just it might set, you might read a pointer and it sends you to a place of recognition or a glimpse of what is, and then apparently some sort of seeming process happens where it's all reconvolvulated in the mind somehow, and then it comes again and again and again until something happens, and I think all these pointers eventually they're like swallowed up completely and totally, and all there is this, and thisness includes everything that is in the appearance is like it's phenomena. Even the most incredible pointer, it's all phenomena appearing, vibrating in a myriad of, expressing itself in infinite expression of patterns. Of Bob always says patterning, shaping, forming. It's like it really seems like that. Like even the thought that I'm describing a pattern is a pattern.
Yes.
And it's all appearing in the same place, which is no place, which is no thing, and it's quite outstanding that this is even going on, and to even try to make sense of it or I know there's a rationalism in the background somewhere that can rationalize things, but yet this is beyond all rationalism and all ideas, all intellect, and yet the intellect is sort of included in some weird way, understandable way, and all this patterning, shaping, forming is cognizing, like it's actually there's a knowing that of it, but not an intellectual knowing, but there's a knowing of the existence of being and the show that's occurring in it, and it's all phenomena, and it's not real. And I'm like, so when it's not real, it's like it's a beautiful play. It's just a play that's occurring, that's existing, that's expressing, that's showing itself, and it doesn't seem to be in even the idea of time is almost like another vibration or another pattern within the realm that as soon as it's believed in, it creates past, present, future. It creates stories, and yet it's still a pattern in itself. It seems real sometimes, and then other times it's the timeless realm is obvious. It's just obvious, and I think like by repeating this reading and feeling into, I can't describe a process. It's just ridiculous to even try and describe a process. Yet processes seem to happen, and people describe them, and people can comment on them, and have discussions at length about them, and yet they all dissolve as well as they're all part of the phenomena, the phenomenal display, which is, I guess they call consciousness. Define. I don't even like that word because there's no real understanding of consciousness. There's quantum physics describes it, and there's many different explanations. There's the ancient scriptures that talk about it. There's medical explanations of consciousness. It can actually become but there are all of those are still vibrating patterns in the appearance. So if you keep seeing, as a second line, second page 2, keep seeing that there is no thing that sees. Recognise that seeing of itself is happening naturally, and then natural and the recognising will appear to last longer. And it's just, that's it. Like every single page, like if it's contemplated or just if it hits or lands, I don't even know if those expressions are, if there's any validity to even using those expressions, yet it just seems like something happens, and those, so what those words are pointing to actually become the actuality of what is, of the isness, and might just
That was beautiful.
might just
That
stop
is
there for now.
beautiful, Dean.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
It's all such a joke, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah,
Oh, you've got
that was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I love the part, when you actually, when you show in the way you describe it, how the life actually, everything's included, everything is known, and everything, wherever the attention goes, there is more creation happening. That attention, that power of attention is actually the power of creation, because there is only one. There's only one power, is one energy. So you focus on your research, and there is more to be uncovered. You focus on your garden, there is more to be uncovered. Or you focus on a love relationship or connection. It's just showing up more, as if that stream of attention is the life-giving stream of creating power of the universe. And why would it even do it? There's a wrong question when you ask why. But when you actually see the bigger picture, you can't help but love and appreciate it with all of your heart, including the dark parts, including the sad parts, because without them, there wouldn't be the opposite. Without the ugliness, there would be no beauty. Without the pain, there would be no pleasure. So suddenly, it all makes sense in completely different way. The life dancing itself, expressing itself. And again, as Bob's beautiful one-liner, one essence, appearing, expressing, and what was the third word? Appearing, expressing, and experiencing itself as everything. Life is for expression and experiencing. itself. The only way for the life to experience itself is to dream itself a vehicle of experience. Otherwise, there is just oneness that is no reference point in it. So there is no experience without reference points. So reference points are arising as those points in consciousness. And experiencing can happen in all the duality that it is again required for it. Experiencing and expression.
And the mind, the mind is always, it's dropped here, but it's very common to. Well, why?
Yeah.
Why? And do you need, when you listen to a beautiful piece of music, and then you want to listen again, and again and again. Do you ask why?
There you go.
It's because.
Yeah.
Because
it can.
Because it can. And it's, or a dance. The love of dance.
Yeah.
We dance. It's not about getting from A to B when you dance, is it?
No.
It's about the experience and the joy of it, the expression, the beauty of it. And why the heck not?
Yeah.
Just spontaneous functioning.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, even as Kat said, in the deepest seeming sadness, there's still, if you relax into it, there's still joy in there. It's just all, accept it all.
Yeah.
Accept it. And that's the natural functioning. And just let it be.
Yeah. The
It's
life,
happening.
The life that is behind that energy of life, that is behind that whole dance, that whole expression, it doesn't resist itself. So there is, if the resistance is arising, that resistance is just from the assumed perspective of a dream character, which is separated from life. And of course, that's also on life. Life is creating the seeming individual, is dreaming seeming characters that suffer, but also life brings up the opportunity to recognize that seeming separation and that seeming reference point is not real. It is imagined. Therefore, when this gets relaxed, resistance gets relaxed. And being one with life, the shape the life takes right now is the shape the life seemingly wants to take shape. So there is just a natural acceptance. Being one with life, that's exactly you as life, how you wanted to experience and express this moment. Including Bob being a little bit dopey, that's still on life. Life. Yeah. And I see we have someone else here. So David says, really well said, and yes, the intellect is required initially to grasp the concept, but once grasped, it becomes the way of being. Yay. And JK ordered now on eBay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Gilbert says the intellect is limited, intelligence is unlimited. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a well presented difference between intellect and intelligence. Intellect is just an appearance, just a ripple in the ocean of intelligence, pure intelligence or pure energy. And Catherine says, Bob's pointers will take you out of the illusion of being separate individual. So investigate until it dawns on you. No one can do it for you. That's the baseline. And Billy says, tell Bob that AI describes him as Bob Adamson is contemporary non-duality teacher whose approach is focused on direct pointing to awareness. His teachings emphasizes that the true self is not the personal ego or thought process, but the awareness that witnesses all experience. He uses simple, clear language to guide students to recognize their true nature as awareness and encourages them to see that there is nothing to achieve or fix. His teachings have had a profound impact on many who are seeking peace, freedom, and understanding in their life. How do you like, my darling, how artificial intelligence describes your work? Beautifully, simply, elegantly, and correctly, accurately. Of course, we can pick on words like teachings or students, because another base of Bob's message is that this is already here, is already present. It is the aliveness, the presence is as prominent and obvious in you as it is in him or anyone else. So there isn't really much to teach. There is not much to be a student of. As David says, initially concepts and pointers the intellect might use just to look beyond the words and beyond the mind when ready. But yes, there is no worship of the messenger, because the message is super simple. That awareness of presence, that aliveness, that basic screen of being is undeniable. No one can deny the fact of their own existence. And it is primary. No one can argue that without that existence there wouldn't be thoughts or feelings or dramas or stories or events or environment. There wouldn't even be a world if not for the presence. Your world or the objective world or whatever the concept is. The presence is prior, is all there is, really. That's the reality, that's what never changes. The consciousness and the concepts that's, presence filtered through the body become perception. It may be individualized perception, it may be affected by the bodily conditioning, it might be called consciousness, it might be called I am. But those are just words. We are bringing everything back to that basic screen and letting it shine and let it reveal itself in all the aspects that it can. And also bringing lightness to the whole show, to the whole drama, because, that cannot be hurt. That which is the base, the noumenon, cannot be hurt. It cannot be affected by anything that appears on it. Just like Bob's metaphor about the Indians and cowboys shooting each other in the film, and the screen on which the film is projected is not affected. It's not burning when the fire appears on the screen. There is no bullet holes when the boys are shooting each other. And nobody dies, really. When the actors take off their costumes, they're still that life. So when the bodily costume goes away, life, which is the pure energy, it can never ever be destroyed. It from nothingness comes back to where it came from, to the emptiness, the unmanifest.
Can it?
Can it?
Mm.
Can the energy be destroyed?
Well,
It can't.
can nothingness come back to the nothingness?
Yeah. It doesn't even come back. It always was the emptiness, the nothingness. It just appears, just like the dream. When you're dreaming or you're daydreaming, the whole world appears out of nothing in a so-called mental space or dynamic display of the mind. But it really is nothing. It's never been a thing. So realizing that this waking dream, where it seems so prominent that we do have physical bodies, and those physical bodies get wounded or hurt, or they are aging, or they get cancer, or they get medicated, and it is super convincing, it's still the dream nonetheless. And when you see that it is a dream, it doesn't stop. The dream keeps going. A dream is the way it experiences and expresses itself. And as long as the vehicle is capable of holding, the projector is projecting, the dream goes on. But what a difference when you actually realize it is a dream, rather than taking it to be reality, taking every thought super seriously and every event to be super serious. The lightness is gone. Everything is important and serious and heavy, and that's just not necessary. And here we have another couple of things. Sandy, hey, loving to be with you all. As Bob says, what's wrong with right now unless you think about it? So simple, isn't it? And Sandy wrote a beautiful book, From Head to Heart. And Peter, Sandy's husband, just wrote another beautiful book, which is just a draft, but I hope it will come soon. We're going to read through it. And Sean says, that is what we love about Bob and his teachings. They are so simple, direct, and self-evident, easily verified in our own day-to-day experience. We are pure awareness. Whatever appears in our awareness is neither good or bad. It is simply an appearance arising and disappearing in that pure awareness. Since it arises in awareness, it therefore points you back to that awareness, where is nothing other than that. We remember Bob telling us this on our first visit back in 2015, and the joy that came with the recognition of that awareness. Thank you, Bob. With love and gratitude to you and to Kat always, Sean and Fiona. Nice to have you with us here. Yes, that was beautiful. They just walked in and embraced the message from the first time, and then we saw them a few years later just shining the truth. Yes, it is indeed amazing how effective Bob's pointing is. And whether it is through individual meeting or whether it is through watching a video or reading a book, we are getting messages from all over the world thanking Bob for this incredible simplicity, incredibly effective simplicity, which doesn't require any practices or any anything really, apart from just direct looking and resonating and recognizing and relaxing. So David says here, it is strange to speak of non-duality because without duality there could be no conversation about it. Good point, isn't it? Yes, yes, what a cosmic joke. And British Julia says, eternally grateful for the pointings, Bob. Yes, absolutely. And Jagannath sends heart and thank you and on. Yeah, so you guys want to add something?
Would Bob like me to read some more?
Would you like
to relax into that? The words, yeah? Okay. Oh, look at all that. Yeah.
Options.
I think we got to intelligence energy on page 8. So intelligence energy is the activity of knowing, which is life. This livingness expresses and vibrates into a myriad of energy patterns, which includes thoughts, feelings, etc. This appearing and disappearing is the whole manifestation, yet in essence ever remaining pure, Sat Chit Ananda, being, knowing and loving to be, just this and nothing else.
How beautiful.
The reference point or self-centre can be likened to a reflection in a mirror. A reflection has no substance or independence apart from the mirror. It does not contaminate the mirror in any way. The reflection has no validity whatsoever apart from how it appears in the mirror. So it is with the self-centre or reference point or ego. It is only a pattern, a thought image appearing in the cognizing emptiness. And just like the skywriting from an aeroplane, it dissolves into emptiness. The energy of belief, more thought patterns, and the fixation on it seemingly keeps the appearance there longer than it would naturally be there. The naturally relaxed cognizing intelligence or knowingness registers the fact that all appearances in emptiness can only, in essence, be emptiness, just as it is, with or without appearances. Left as it is, without any support, it can only dissolve like skywriting. Non-conceptual awareness, just this, nothing else, utterly open and wakeful. Natural mind is self-knowing awareness or wakefulness, meaning right here, right now, you are that sense of presence, even before it is expressed as the concept I am. Recognize this and you are immediately face to face with natural mind, non-conceptually aware, without any conceptual subject-object thinking taking place.
Beautiful.
Because of non-recognition of natural mind, the fixation on duality, subject-object, is taken to be real. This is continually happening, and the natural, unchanging mind essence is missed or overlooked. We ignore it, don't we, Bob?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ignorance.
That's ignorance, isn't it? So simple, we miss it, don't we? Yeah. Thought chases after thought like a dog chasing its tail. No other can do anything for you, as there is no other and no you.
Beautiful.
Would you like to read? You want me to take a little break? And
I just got this one. David says, the cognizing emptiness. That's beautiful. I'm eternally grateful to you, Bob, for pointing me to that. And Joe also says, thank you. And a heart. Cognizing emptiness. Simply beautiful.
In hearing or reading this, the thought may arise through the resonance or recognition. Hey, wait a minute. I see that the answer is not in the conceptual thinking, not in the subject-object. The pointing out is always about non-duality, pure subjectivity or self-knowing awareness. In that moment, there is an empty awareness, the essence that registers or cognizes everything just as it is, non-conceptually, including the concepts, thoughts and activities, everything. Look now, or as the ancient scriptures say, come face to face with your basic essence, bare livingness or awareness, or nothingness, emptiness, your original face, space-like awareness, clear and empty. Nowhere to go, nothing to get.
No one to be, nothing to see.
Nothing to do or getting there, as there is no there. Concepts and seeming things appear in that original face, but its self-shiningness is never contaminated or corrupted by the appearances. Just like reflections in a mirror do not contaminate the mirror.
Yeah. Yes, darling. Reflections in the mirror.
Yep.
You want to say something to it?
No.
No? You happy to just listen?
Yeah.
Enjoying it?
When the thought I or mine or any other belief or concept is not taken to be the subject, then there can only be a subjectless, objectless awareness. When the subject-object thinking is happening, the basic emptiness is seemingly obscured and your original face, emptiness, is masked by an imagined one. Seeing, hearing and all the functioning is effortlessly happening. The thought, I see this or that, or I think this or that, etc., appears, and with that the unquestioned subject-object duality, which is the cause of all our problems. seeming problems. Seeing has seemingly been divided into seer and seen, thinker and thought, and so on.
Yeah. And no, we have no more comments. But this one is really worthy of elaborating. I remember some good 10 years ago, Bob used to finish every spiel with that pointer, that look and see. Is the seeing happening right now? Did you start it in any way? Or when you woke up in the morning, the seeing was already fully there, available. The capacity for seeing, or the field of seeing, the field of your gaze was already there. You didn't have to do anything to start it. But then the mind comes and translates it and divides it to the idea that, no, this is I see this. And then where the attention lands, I see this or that. Or even I have defocused sort of a field of seeing. But there is always that translation happening. But it happens just a fraction after that whole field arises. You open the eyes, and a fraction of a second after, the translation goes with it. So the mind imposes or superimposes that interpretation that there is a seer, me, and the seen, this, on that field. But the experience is always singular. If you bypass the mind, spiritual bypassing, bypass the nonsense. If you bypass all that interpretation and go to the direct experience, half a second prior to that narrative arising and the commentary commenting on what's happening, the experience prior to the commentary is singular. The seeing is singular. The breathing is singular. Even the raining outside, we have a rainy day today. We had a really strong heat wave for a few days, and now it's the rain. Singular. That's hence, yes. Tanya just made it. And so hearing, experiencing, being, it is all singular. And then the mind comes and the commentary comes and says, no, this is, it's dualistic. This is I here and the world there. I am here seeing the world there. I am here thinking about the world there. And those are my thoughts, and those are important, and they are better than yours. And the drama starts.
And when you look and you stay alert, you can catch it.
Yes.
You can catch it. And you can experience how the mind comes in, or the thoughts come in, wanting to, or who knows why, take credit for the knowingness.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's good. It's good fun to just even go walking. You can just walking quietly, and you have this knowingness. You know that there is a path. You know that there are trees. You don't need to label them. Yeah. You know they're there. You know there's a lady going along the road on a bike, and you know this. Yeah. But then the mind comes in and starts labelling things. Oh, bush. Yeah. I know that's a particular type of bird. That's a sparrow. And then, creates a concept about the lady on the bike. Yeah. Where is she going? What's she doing? Or she's, not very fit. She should get out more. The mind comes in and, wants to take credit. And saying the mind, again, there's really just music that comes in and out, and just a narrative and thoughts.
And you can witness how it is completely not you doing any of it. No. You can see how it arises like on autopilot. The narrative, the commentary, it has been programmed, it has been learned through imitation very early in life. And for those who learn various other languages, you will remember how you rehearse what you're going to say in your head, in the narrative, initially, before it becomes on autopilot, before it becomes automated. And today, narrative is mostly just an autopilot, mechanical narration, just like the narration happens if you speak to your chat GPT, and you speak to it, and it will answer with the speaking voice, and you can even choose the tone of the voice, but there is no one there doing it. It's just a program, it's a software. So realizing that it is mechanical, it is not you, suddenly the thoughts are impersonal. Even if the thoughts, that lady on the bike, she's fat, oh God, thank God I'm not like that. Or maybe I am like, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. That is not you. It is not about you. There is completely mechanical piece of a of a software that has nothing to do with anything, and you can just laugh. Even if the thought will tell you, oh my God, I don't want to be around, I hate myself, you can still laugh because that's not true. And that's mechanical. What a freedom with that, because the mind may or may not continue narrating. I remember Bob was saying sometimes he's got a long periods of silence and he has to really kickstart the entertainment system to even get a little bit of fun out of it. And other times it's very chatty, it's commenting all the time, but because it isn't personal and because it doesn't matter whether it does or not, well, let it do what it does. Just the same way you let the sweat on your skin do what it does, or digestive juices do what they do. We don't take credit for those. So viewing the world and all the functions of the body-mind in the same way as certain physical functions suddenly take the sting of whatever is being narrated, because the imagined entity lives in the narration. It lives in the commentary. Without that commentary, without those thoughts, there is just presence. Just like that cat which is about to jump on Dean's lap. It lives in the presence. It can't separate itself from the environment. The body is responding to it naturally, but there is no sense of separation. The body will still defend itself, will fend for itself, will feed itself. But the idea that there is me here and I'm not good enough, there is something wrong with me, and I have to add, accumulate, amass, fix myself, and maybe in the future when I get promotion or better partner or $1 million, I will finally be or feel fulfilled. That I, which wants all those things, is completely imagined, is created in that piece of software that narrates and comments. And it's a wonderful function when you see through it, because it continues, but it doesn't bind and it doesn't sting. And then it's really, truly entertaining. Learning about how is that body respond to the trigger. And learning that, oh my God, body gets explosive. It actually just get like a volcano, it erupted. And instead of a sense of shame or guilt or self-hatred and self-rejection, there is like, wow, I didn't know this one has it in it. I wonder, maybe next time it will also have it, and maybe it won't, and who cares? It's not personal. And of course, if it is conditioned and it does hurt something, then probably it will go and cry and ask forgiveness. And that's also, wow, oh, love it, yum. But it's not who I am. I am the presence in which all that show takes place. And that's freedom, because regardless of what the dream character does, say or feel, or what happened to the dream character, the freedom, the space is never affected. So there is always peace. Even when the dream character screams and cries, there is peace underlying it, the witnessing presence which knows, which is cognizant of that dream character and every other dream character. Dean, you want to add something?
Well, it's like the attention is like fixated on a self-center. It's self-centeredness, and then you read the first line in the book, and a reference point or self-center with any substance or independent nature cannot be found.
Yes.
And it just blows up the whole story there and then, because if there isn't a self-center, and then everything is the narrative, the whole story, everything was related around that, and there isn't one. You know, there's a breaking down of the whole system that was just a real pattern that no one did. It just appeared that way, and then it appears a different way. But the other way that it appears is that when there's no reference to a me, the good or the bad or the ugly or the sad or whatever it is, it is what it is. It has to be what it is, because it's not a reference to anything. Yeah. It just is. And it's sort of really simple.
Well, when you put it like that.
Still very elegant, isn't it? Simple and elegant. I got a couple of people to include here, and Dave says, thank you, Bob, for your pointing to our true nature. It is everything and nothing. It is closer than close. Its essence is love. That's beautiful, Dave. Did you hear that, my darling? He did. Okay. Thank you. And Peter says, love the way you are making such clear distinction between the stories and illusory person in a dream and the real presence. Yes, it's so clear, isn't it? It's just so clear. When you see that, and you see that.
Can you tell us what love is? That I asked you that question once, and you read a passage.
From Nisargadatta?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
which
I love that
is
passage.
beautiful.
I'll see if I can find that easily, because I don't want to contrive it in any way. I want to have it directly as it was. You can maybe read a passage and I'll find it.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll do that.
Should have.
Well, I'm not answering the question, but I'll just comment anyway.
Yeah.
Please.
And it is like all when it becomes non-conceptual awareness, which it actually always really was, then there is no reason or there's no meaning, in a sense, for the phenomena manifestation to appear, except for the love of its being, of the appearance, of the show, of the beingness itself. And there can be there's no other, just the being and aliveness and the energy that is the love, and appearing in everything.
Yes.
Absolutely everything, even the shittest of the shit. That is the love appearing as appearing as that. And that's just the love of one to another is so limiting in the greater scheme of what is, in the isness of the whole show.
Just one of the aspects.
Yeah. It's an aspect, and you can talk about that forever on another level. But the love of being is I think the ultimate love. But please, Rick, good. Get to the
I
good
found
stuff.
it's essentially what you said. Essentially what you said, but he elaborates on it a little bit. So it was from I Am That. The question posed to Nisargadatta: does love act deliberately? See the presumptions there, huh? The love is some acting force there, so there is some background on which it acts, so it's not all there is. And he says yes and no. Life is love, and love is life. We're talking non-duality. This is one. It's not that love and hate, love and fear. It's one without the other. If we call it love, love is everything. There is not two, not even one. So he says yes and no. Life is love, and love is life. What keeps, now he goes on the explanation, showing up how it is really everything. What keeps the body together but love? You feed the body, you care for the body, you defend the body, you sustain the body, love. What is desire but love of the self? And that includes all desires. Desires for a sexy partner, for money, for fame, for all of it. What's desire but love of the self? What is fear but the urge to protect? What an obvious manifestation of love. A fear. I don't want anything bad to happen to me or to my loved ones. And what is the knowledge but love of truth? Even the seeking, trying to find out, reach, imagine that it is a way and I will find it when I get enough books of satsangs or practices. Still love. Is still love, misguided a little bit or disguised as the movement of seeking, but is still the love of the truth. And now the other part of that comment is the means and forms may be wrong. And again, good and bad or wrong is just kind of a description, but it's a good description. But the motive behind is always love. Love of the me and the mine. The me and the mine may be small, or may explode and embrace universe, but love remains. So it really envelops, explodes and embraces universe. If I think I am the little me, I'll be desiring money or security or knowledge or enlightenment, the endless ecstasy or whatever it is, pleasures. But if I am the field of presence, if I am the cognizing emptiness, I already have everything. I already have every last bit of the disease and poverty living under the bridge, being abandoned or squashed like an ant or a bee, or extinct like the species in forests, and also every imaginable and unimaginable way that life dances itself and projects itself. Pet rock, a billionaire. Yes, so for those of you guys who cannot be here with us, Bob is still in a very, very cheerful, no sense of misery or fear of dying sort of a mood. So there is a lot of joyful laughter happening around, and especially Dean and Tanya are invaluable help, because they are here whenever we need them, and they even stay here whenever we need them, and we need them more and more, and we're very, very grateful. And that laughter is contagious, and it's light, and
it is so easy. It's
Yes.
just so easy. It's so easy being here, and Bob's pain is managed well, and he's jokes around and has fun. And we had a sing-song the other day, one of his favourite songs, The Gambler.
Yep. Dancing it for
Which
him.
is contagious, and had me dancing in the dark when I got back to my hotel room. But it's great, because he keeps reminding us, you got to know when to hold it. You got to know when to fold it. You got to know when to walk away. You got to know when to run. Don't ever count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Yeah, it's a beauty.
It's a beauty.
It's a beauty.
And he thinks sometimes that the best that can happen is to die in your sleep.
Sleep. That's it. Yeah, and the best that you can hope for
It's
is
the
to
hope.
die in your sleep.
Yes. And if you really look at the essence of it, we are dying as the individual self, as that assume point of reference every night when we go to sleep, and we are dying daily, and we are dying minutely as that reference point assumed for the necessities of the body is dropped and recognized, and it shifts. So there isn't really any permanent I to die, but the moments of arising and falling away is like dying in the sleep. I'll get you a little bit of a meal replacement, darling. Yeah. Yes.
Say something, Bob?
Something.
You feel like
Something?
saying something?
Something.
Give us something.
Something else?
Something. What thing?
Can you do some other something?
Something.
Something.
Oh, give something away. There's another thing.
Yes, that's right. Give us some nothing.
Sure, yours.
Thank you.
Help yourself.
Thank you, my darling. I got tons of nothing from Bob. That is love too. That's the highest form of love, really. Highest form of love. Love that doesn't actually trade. It's not the prostitute type of love that I'll give you approval and you give me approval, and then we even, or we build each other up. No, it's no thing, no expectations, no demands, no trading.
Acceptance.
Just pure sharing that field, holding that field, and recognizing it as love, being already present and reflected in every moment, in every reflective surface, especially this one. It's all there is. And so, you gonna say something, my darling? silence sinks. And Estelle says, thank you, Bob and Kat. Hi, Estelle. And, my goodness, time is flying when you have fun. So we have another couple of minutes. So if anyone... Oh, Peter, there is... Yes, our Pete says, you are really bad teacher, Bob. Now, I don't know anything. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Yes, that's it. You're bad teacher. You are. This is really about unlearning. It is really about dropping away, questioning all the beliefs, all the concepts, all the heavy weight of attachment to thoughts.
That's why I used to start the meeting with, we don't teach you anything, we don't tell you anything.
Yes, yes.
It took me 5 years to understand that. Like it really did, Bob.
Oh, I thought it was a great starting way of starting it, but then it's like really deep once you and then he'd say the next thing would be start from the fact that you're already that, and that's it. That is that.
Yeah. That's it.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Full
Yeah.
stop.
And JB says, Bob, thanks for all the support and continuous clear, direct pointing. I love you, Bob. And Hansa sends love and thanks too. And just so you know, everyone, I'm reading every email with the love and gratitude and joy and all the expressions to Bob when he feels like being read to. So everything gets, and the Facebook messages, everything gets to him, and WhatsApp messages, he gets it all. So I suppose he does feel really loved. Do you feel really loved, darling?
Yes.
Yes, and it is really incredible how much love and support, how many messages and emails I get with offer of support. If there is anything else we need, that is beautiful. That community is beautiful. You are beautiful people. We actually do have all the love and support, and thank you to those two guys most, but there is many others. They are teams of professionals, they are nurses, they are doctors of different caliber and they all come to our home, and as you see, all the setting is as comfortable as it is, and Bob is truly loved, and we love every last bit of him. We love the shit out of him. To every last breath, he is really loved and appreciated, and so he deserves it. Is that?
What have I got left?
Well, you have got left. Just embrace it.
When you say loved all the shit out of him, what's left? You're a bit greedy, eh?
A bit greedy, darling. Yes. Love the hell out of you. Every last day, every last breath, every last moment of every now. And he's basking in that sunshine of the spirit. And that's the time for us. And thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for contributing. And thank you, guys, for...
Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.